This
on a
conference
lot of
will
form
now be
templates.
recorded.
Okay, we have seen how to work with the design patterns. So we will see a few more patterns today. Okay, and then we have created display menu items, and we have seen how to work with the fact boxes and everything. And then let me create a new form, new item, and then let me create a new interface, and let me call it as AMA sales lines. Okay, I want to simply show details of sales here. Okay, so we will choose some good pattern and then we will display. Actually, in this case, we will use details master with transaction or details transaction. Okay, what we will do is generally we will use details transaction, but I want you to try that. I want you to try that piece. I will go with simple details list grid. Okay, later on you can try tabular grid entry. I will explain list grid, how to work with the list grid. Now once I have created the list grid, you can see it is expecting a action pane as usual. Right click, click on the new and then select action pane, and this is my action pane control. Okay, I'm not going to add any buttons here now. Action pane, and then you can set some good caption. I will call it as action pane here. And the next thing that you need to add is navigation list group. Click on the new and then add a group control. Okay, and here what you can do is I will take two data sources this time. I will take sales table and sales line, both of them as the data source here, and then I will go to sales line. I will go to properties. I will set the join data source as sales table, and by default it is delayed. I will set it to active. Okay, done. Now this group, you can go to apply pattern, fields and field groups. I will add only one field to it, and I will call that field as sales ID. Okay, I am adding sales ID for navigation purpose. And the next one, oh, can you say this? This is what I said. When you are working with this group control, now this is the biggest problem here. Let me change it. 1 second. Navigation list group. Let me add one more group control. Now let me check. Okay, this is from group control 1. Okay, so this is the problem I said. Okay, whenever you are working with multiple controls on the same pattern, then obviously it is not going to take the controls correctly. And you can see details header and details tab. Okay, details header it is taken now, the group control 2. Previously it was group control 1. So whenever you are working with the controls, this is one more problem. Okay, so navigation list, I will call this as navigation list. And please remember, I am giving this sort of names only for you people. But what you need to do, you need to give some good names as per the requirement. Okay, now click on the new and then take a quick filter, quick filter control, and let me call this as quick filter. There will be no caption for it, and then you need to add a new grid. Click on the new button and then add a grid control. This is the navigation list grid. Okay, this is navigation grid. Okay, and here what I will do is I will take only one field, sales ID, into it. That should be enough for me. Okay, I am taking only one field called sales ID. Now here again I have the group control 2 and apply the pattern, fields and field groups. Now you can see this is a details header. Okay, this is a details header, and in this header let me set it to details header as the, oh, this is a design, sorry. For this one I want to set the caption as details header, and I will call this as details header. And for this details header you need to add a field. Okay, here I will add sales ID and then order status, or if you want to add anything else, sales ID, sales purchase type. Okay, let's add some two fields. Done. Now the last thing that we need to add is a tab. This is the interesting one. Right click on the new button, add a tab, a tab control. Done, we have added it. A tab can contain any number of tab pages. You can call it as details tab. Done. Now add tab pages, right click, new tab page, You will have the pattern here, apply the pattern, and I want to add toolbar and fields. I want to see something like grid here. 1 second. Give me a second. I want to see grid here now. Okay. Which is why I'm trying to check whether it is allowed or not. Apply pattern, tabular fields. No, I don't need this one, this tab page. Already we have seen this toolbar and fields. So 1 second. Let me delete it. Okay. New tab page. Apply pattern. Where did I see that? List panel. And then let me add a group control. Group. And then available select panel. Okay. I need to add again 3 groups here. No, not this one. This is also not going to work. I want to show you grid, which is why I'm trying. Give me a second. Okay. I will do one thing. Instead of adding all this, I will make it custom pattern. Apply pattern, and then I will select custom. Okay. Because I want to add a grid control. Right click, and then click on the new button and select a grid control. So to this grid, what I will do is I will take the sales line, and then I will take the fields. I will take line amount, line ID, quantity, sales ID. That will be enough for us. I am taking all these things here, and I will set this as line grid, and I will set the data source of the grid as sales line. Done. Now we are done. I have created one tab page, and now I want to create one more tab page, and I will set the pattern as fields and field groups. I will add a fields here from the sales table. I will take customer vendor ID, order status, sales ID, total amount. Done. This is one more. And next, I want to add one more tab page. And this tab page, I will call it as apply pattern. And I have the fields and field groups. Again, I will take the same thing here. This time, I will add one field, new button, and then I will select some int field. Okay, I am taking one integer field. Now, this integer field I will call it as order count. Okay, I will call it as order count. Okay, and check. There should be label. Yeah, we need to set this as order count. I am calling this as a order count, and then you can see a property called data method here. So what we can do is we can create one display method, and then we can use it here. The display method can be created at any level. You can create a display method at the form level. You can create a display method at the form data source level. You can create a display method at the table level. And that's all up to you, yeah, where you want to create. Okay. Now let's say I want to create at the form data source level. Okay. Now let's say this is the order count. Okay. So what I will do is, for the sake of getting any one of the method, I will take some method. Okay. Because I want to get the code directly instead of me writing the data source class. I want to get something here, which is why I've overridden this method. Okay. Now here, if you want to create a display method, you need to use display. What you need to use? You need to use display, and then specify the type, and then you can say get order count. Get order count. So I am writing this in the data source. Is that right? Now what I will do is I will set the value. I will take AMA sales table, and I will take the buffer sales table, and then select count of rec ID from sales table. Okay, Here, let's say if you want to get the invoice, you can select where sales table dot. Oh, I am not getting anything. Good. What is the field name here? Is it status? I think so. Let me check. What is the field name? Order status. Okay. You can say sales table dot order status equal to AMA order statuses. You want to take, let's say, shipped. You can take shipped. Like this, you can add the condition and you can get the count. And then you can use return sales table dot rec ID. Now this is how we will write. Now let's say if you want to get the count of the sales line for a specific instance, what you can do? Instead of writing this condition here, you can say select count of rec ID from sales line where sales line dot sales ID equal to this dot sales ID. This means sales table. You will get the count of the sales ID from the sales table. So this is how you need to write the display method. And here, few of the times people used to ask one more question. Okay, we are writing this. Each and every time the display method is hit, what it will do? It will, it will, what it will do? It will call the query, but it is very bad thing. So what we can do? We can cache it. We can cache the display method. If you want to cache the display method, we have a property called cache add method. Okay. Now what I will do is I will go to sales line. Where is my form? This is my form. And here, let me go to properties, order count. Here you can see the data method. You can say get order count. Okay. And you can set the data source if you want, because we have set it on the data source sales table, and then you can set the data method get order count. Okay, done. Now similarly, can you see this cache add data method? You need to set it to yes. This is one way, and there is one more way. People used to ask me, is there any other way? Here you can add attribute called sys client cache data method. Okay, sys it's similar cache data method or something like that. We have one attribute. Okay, we can use that either cache add method property or sys cache add method. Okay, that is the property name, attribute name. Or 1 second, I don't remember that name. Let me check. Just a second. I want to just check that name so that I can let you know. Sys client cache data method X. This one, sys client cache data method. This is the attribute which we will use. Okay, sys client cache data method. If you want to add it at the method level, you need to add that attribute and you need to set it to true. And the second way is you have a property called cache add method. Set it to yes. That will be enough. Okay. Now we are done. We are done. Now we need to go and check the data whether we are getting it or not. Let's see that. Okay. Let me set this sales line of the startup object, or let me create a display menu item, add new item, and create a display menu item. Let me call this as AMA cust sales lines. No, there is no customer. It's only sales lines. Okay. AMA sales lines, add button, and go to properties, set label, sales, details, and then you can set the object as AMA sales lines. Save. Done. We are done. Now what is the next step? Go to the menu here. You have something called menus. Is that right? And you can go to the menu. Open. And here you can see common. Drag and drop your sales lines to common. Done. Now do you rebuild? And then we can see it on the front end. Okay. So this is how we will work with the forms here. Working with forms is
Kumar,
very simple. Yep.
we have written the function or method on this data source,
Hmm.
and then we define to into that property from code and or whatever it is. So if we write a class or inside the table, so how we will attach it to that property?
You can set the table name dot display method. We can do that. At
Okay,
the
and
table level, if you write display method, in that fashion we will do.
the
Whereas here
same
I
way if
wrote
we
on the
write,
data source.
yeah, same way if we write in a class, then we can do that also.
Yes. Okay, but frankly speaking, no one will write in the class. Either you will write
Okay.
in the form data source or table. Okay.
Okay.
Because when you are
Kumar,
working with, yeah.
yeah. So this is so AMS status shift. From where we are getting that? We have already created.
That base name is already created at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I forgot about the basic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know whether the shipped sales orders are available or not. Otherwise, we need to create the data.
I
We
think
can also.
shipped is not there. Invoice or picked packed is there.
Okay. We can create one more record. That's not a big deal.
It will pick the data for a particular customer, correct?
Yeah, you can do that. Okay, that's all up to you. If you want to pick the data for a particular customer, you can pick the data for a customer. If you want to pick a data for which are invoiced, you can do that. So that's all
No,
up to
that's
you.
fine.
Okay.
But if we have
That-
to pick the data, then we need to write that inside the where clause or
Inside the where clause you need to write.
okay.
Okay. And one more thing is that actually I wrote this in the sales table and I am using the sales table now. Actually, one more requirement that I would like to tell you is we will use display methods when let's say I want to get data from some another table. I want to get the count as you have said from the customers. Okay. Because in this case, what I can do, I can just write a code and then I can get it, or I can create one more calculated field. Okay, this is the calculated field anyways. So in that way, I can get it. Or let's say data source is not available, but you want to get the data. At that time as well, you can use the display method. Okay, let's say you want to get 4 fields out of a table, and that table is not part of the data source. Then what you can do? You can use a display method. If there are less number of records, if there are more number of records, you need to add the table as a data source and then you need to get it. There are multiple ways, multiple things with the display methods. Okay. I will show you in one instance how to work with the display method in class as well. Okay. Now, what is the status? Oh, there is no shipped. Let me make it shipped. Okay. Now let me go to front end, shopping management system, sales details. Okay. Now, oh, we forgot to add captions to the tabs, so it is not showing anything. Okay. It has got 2 lines here, and the count is 2. Okay. Because here, remember, this is for all the sales orders. This is not for 1 or 2. This is for all the sales orders, which is why you're seeing like this. Similarly, if you change it, you will get the information. Okay. So this is how we work with. And here, I told you, one record is being shown. Why? Insert if empty, insert attend. The 2 properties you need to set it to false. This is how you need to work with this ones. Please remember. Okay. This is how we will work. And as it is active, it is showing the data correctly here. You can see. Whereas if you change it now, if you set it to delayed, it will show correctly. If you set it to passive, it will not get updated immediately. Okay. You can try it out. And remember, this will be same all the time because this is for all the sales orders. So generally what we will do is we will not set it here. Instead of this, we can set it somewhere else. Okay. Or let's say sometimes what people used to ask is, okay, I don't want to get the order count. I want to get something else. You can do that. Okay. Instead of this, I will create one more display method. Now we don't have the customers. Okay. I want to get AMA customers, and I will use customer here. Select name from customer, where customer dot customer ID equal to this dot cust vend ID. Okay, I'm using customer dot cust vend ID. Let's see, because this is how we will write at the table level generally. Okay, now here this will be string. Just a second, it's loading. This is a string, and here you can use customer dot name. Done. Oh, still it says because
Method
this
name.
is done. Okay, let's see if it is throwing an error. Okay, still it is throwing some error. What is this? Okay, done. Okay, now I'm using this get name. Oh, good. It says data source AMA sales table does not contain field name customer ID. Oh, one second.
Customer ID doesn't belong on this sales line.
No, this is sales table.
But we are using sales line.
Here it's sales table. Yeah. Where I'm using sales line? This is the sales table data source. Got it? Actually, this should, okay, let me check. Just give me a second. 1 second. Okay. Oh, just a second here. Okay. Now it's good. Okay. I think you should not have get any sounds now. Okay. So can you see this? Now this, why it is throwing the error? Yeah. It says customer data is there, but it is saying customer data is not available. Why? Can anyone tell me? Because this is the form data source. Here, if you use this, you need to check what exactly it is giving this. Okay. If I use this dot, I'm getting all these things. Okay. And let me check if AMA, I'm not getting anything here because it is not able to find the field. if you want to get the data from the data source, what you need to do? What you need to do? You need to get the data from the data source. If you do remember, I have used AMS sales table underscore DS. Using the data source, we need to select the data, or the same display method. Okay, I am using here this dot cast when ID. If I want to make it work, what I need to do? I need to simply take this and then I need to go to the sales table, open, and then you need to create a new method at the sales table, and you need to call this as get name. This is how you need to write. Okay, now it will not throw the error because here we will get the value. Okay, we will get the value because cost vendor is part of the table. Okay, which is why, whereas here it's the data source, so you are not getting it. Now the next step in the controls, right click. 1 second, it's taking some time. Just a second, it's stuck.
Meanwhile, if we have to add some Boolean field to show some field and hide on the event on that can be done.
You can do whatever you want.
No, how
Okay,
to do
I will say only this thing. Okay, because if you want to add the Boolean field, we have something called checkbox. Okay, we have something called checkbox. 1 second, let me show you. Checkbox. We can add this checkbox control, and then if it is selected, it is true. If it is unselected, it is false. In the checkbox modified method, you need to write that code. If it is true, then only you use it. You can do that. Okay, that's possible. Next, I have created the string control. I will go to the properties and I will call it as name. I will call it as name. And here data method. Let me select the data source, sales table, and can you see this get name? From where I got this? From the table. Got it? This is how we work with display methods. Now you can do a rebuild and then you can work with it. Similarly, if you want to use these controls in the code, sometimes you will have the requirement. Let's say I want to create a new control. Okay, you can create any type of control. Yeah, I am taking a string control just to show you how to work with it. I am taking a string control, and then let me go to properties. Here what I will do is I will call this as set default. Okay, I want to set default value for this control, and you can see if you want to set the default value, there are multiple ways. You have the text here, you can set the default value from here, or if you want to set from the code, I will go to the initialization method, or you can write in the run method. That's all up to you. So let me go to the run method. In the run method, I will write some business logic here. Okay, what I will do is go to sales line and go to properties of this set default. Here you can see there will be a property called 1 second, what is the property name? Auto declaration. Set it to yes. Then only you would be able to use this control in the code. You need to set auto declaration to yes. Sales line, and then now where is this one? My piece of code. Sales lines, this one. Okay, here what I will do is I will set default dot, you will have a value called value str, set default value. So this is how you can work with controls in the code. If you want to work with controls in the code, you can use in this fashion. Now it is throwing some error. It says, oh sorry, something went wrong here. Value str, no. Let me check if there is value. Oh sorry, this is a string field. I think that should be text. Let me check. Yeah, this one. Okay, this is a string field, so the method is text. Whereas coming to the integer or real or int64, for them it will be value. Okay, and if you want to get back the value, you need to use value str. Okay, now let's try this. Let me do a rebuild, and I need to set sync to true because I have modified the table as well. Let me set sync to true, click on apply button, okay, and then do a rebuild. Let's wait for a minute here for the rebuild to finish.
Hello, I have a doubt. Hello.
Hit. Hey, go ahead. What is your question?
Yeah. While adding the display method at form data source level, you just add active method. Just
That
override.
active method is not necessary. Okay.
Yeah.
That I want to just get some that class name and data source. Okay. Otherwise, what I need to do, I need to add in the bracket data source class AMS sales table, start bracket, close bracket. I need to add all this. Instead of that, I can get them easily by adding this any one of the method by overriding. Okay. Which is why I have done that. Got it?
Yeah.
I want you people to try all the screens here because within no time we will move on to data entities. Okay. So please practice. This is very, very important.
We'll finish
Because,
extension.
huh?
After extension, we'll go to data entity, I guess. Or
Yeah, that's right. After
okay,
extensions only, we will go to data entities because I
okay,
want to finish form extensions.
yeah. Class also we can do, sir.
Okay, now I think the build seems to be completed. Let's go to the front end, open and again check what it will do. Okay. Let it open. Okay, now can you see this? I got the name Ramcharan. Let me select second one. Oh, what is this here? For all of them, I'm getting Ramcharan. Here it is Mahesh. I think 3 orders for Ramcharan. He is a rich guy. And these are for Mahesh. Oh, S1006. Actually, this is a vendor, which is why it is not able to get the name from customer table. Okay, here you need to get the name from customer table. But 2 data methods, 1 field, not possible. You can't do that. Okay, so in this, what you need to do is you need to restrict for the customers. As we are getting the data from sales tables, we are getting along with vendors. Please remember, because for vendors and customers, we are using the same table. Okay, this is how it works. This is how we are going to work with the list page with details. Okay, because sometimes the user will ask, I want to see the information on the grid like this. Okay, it depends on customer to customer how we will design. The same thing, if you have huge amount of data, then we will go for details form transaction. We will go for details form transaction. Please remember that. I hope this is clear. Please let me know if you have any queries up to now. Okay, let's do one thing here. Today I would like to break here because I have some urgent call. So if you have any queries, please let me know. Otherwise, I will end the session for today.
Thanks for the short session, Kumar.
Okay, but please practice. Frankly speaking, I can say within coming tomorrow, mostly we will be discussing about the other screens and then workspace, because whatever left is the dialogues, table of contents, and then the last one is the hub part, and we will go on to the workspace. So once the workspace is finished, we will move on to the form extensions. Okay, we will see. Already you know how to work with the controls, but I will explain about the controls one more time on table of contents, and then we will be done. Okay, after that we will be moving to the next topic. So I want you to practice. Practice is the key here. Okay, if you won't practice, frankly speaking, you will forget everything very easily, because we will finish off the data entities within some 4 days. I can say it will take 4 days. After that, we will move on to the services. I will show you end to end how to work with the services. Okay, and I will show you how to set up the recurrence integration scheduler as well. You can also work with that. I will show you all those things, how to work with data entities and everything. So practice is the key here. Okay, if you won't practice, I can't help. So please practice and let me know if you have any queries. Okay, thanks all for the session. Let's meet again tomorrow same time. Thank you all. Bye.
Thanks, Kumar. Bye bye.